Let me know if you all can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. Chintan.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I can see.
Okay, so today we'll be talking about the most basic building block of Angular application components. As you can see, components are an HTML template, declares what renders on the page. It's a combination of a, yesterday we discussed, it's a combination of template and a class. So typically, if you are a .NET developer, you can relate it to as a model view controller concept. View is your template, model is any data that you may want, and controller is your component class. So this is how you can envision how the hierarchy is structured. I strongly suggest that whenever you are creating components, try to use automation as much as possible. If you see ng generate is provided for you to use. It solves lot of problems for you. I have also mentioned some important switches. For example, in which particular module you want this component to be generated, that you can specify either with double hyphen module or just by single hyphen m. Then prefix. So once you define a prefix in angular.json, it will by default be used by ng generate. But in case you want to change the prefix for one specific component, you can change it using -p. You can also control the selector. By default, whatever the name you give, the component selector will be the same as component name. If you want to change that, you can do through this. And if you are not doing unit test or end-to-end test, I suggest you use double hyphen skip hyphen test. Let's see that in practical. I'll share my screen with all of you. Is my VS Code visible to all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So what I would want is, I want to create a person entry form. So what I'll do is, so this is the application that we generated yesterday, my app. And I recommend that all of you keep your VS Code ready with me. So we do a live coding of this. So essentially G is a shorthand for generate. You can generate component and give component name. So let's say person data entry. You need to remember that you don't have to specify prefix word and you don't have to specify component word as well. They both are automatically attached to it. And for now, we will use skip test. And if I don't specify any module name, it will by default go into app module. So if you see, it created a folder, person data entry, in which it created component, HTML, and the CSS. So a lot of thing is automated for you, which according to best practice. It would typically take you around 5 minutes to type all this thing in a manual way. So I highly recommend that you don't do any manual work. Always use ng g command to generate your components or any other things required by Angular. Are you clear so far? Any doubts?
No.
What this generate command does also is it creates this folder and everything, but then it adds the component into app module as well. a person data entry component. So that way, lot of automation, lot of mistake can be avoided if you use this command. So this helps you create the component. We are clear so far. This is how your typical component would look like. First statement is your imports. Typically, you can relate it to using statements in your C# codes. So this is how you import all the third-party libraries or Angular libraries within your component. Most important part is this decorator, @component, and then you put all the selector, template URLs, style URLs within that. And then we have a class which is exported component overview component.
Chintan, hello.
Yes, Aman.
I'm getting an error while running that code while making component.
What is the error?
File and that path cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled on this system.
Yeah, that is a common error when you are running ng scripts within PowerShell. So try to run that in command prompt, CMD.
Chintan sir, can you share once what you have written in Visual Studio Code command?
You can use this itself, the document ng generate component, then component name, and you can use any of these switches. So I use this last one, skip test.
Yes, that I have used. Component name I have written person dash data dash entry.
So this is the command that I have run. Let me share that in.
Yes, now okay, done. Actually, it takes some time.
The naming convention is that you need to keep all small case letter and put a hyphens in between whenever you want to capitalize one of the words. It will automatically generate a component with a proper naming convention.
Okay, done. Created component created.
Perfect. Everyone done?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what we'll do is we'll follow practice. If you are done, then you'll type just done in the chat box. So I know that everybody is on the same page. Perfect. Okay, so that is how you create your basic component. Now, as I showed that when you create a component, you need to add that in a module. Just creating component does not make anything work in the Angular application. It needs to go in the declaration part of this ng module. So we have added that over here. We will understand this entire ng module later on once we have completed our component understanding. That is when I'll also take the imports, providers, and bootstrap and everything. For now, just focus that you created a component and then you need to register that component into this ng module declaration section. So once that is done, your component is ready to run. Now let's create some logic within that component. So what we'll do is we'll create a simple data entry form where I enter data and then I show that data back. So that way you will understand how data binding works. Let's say this person data entry form is there. I need two properties. Let's say we take name as one property and I call it a string type, and let's say age, and let's say we call it a number type. So you can continue typing with me, so we stay on the same track. Then we initialize them in constructor. Age is equal to, let's say, 0. This dot name we just initialize with a blank string. So far with me?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's go into the HTML side. We create a form element over there. For the sake of simplicity, I'll just use P over here right now, and then use span. Give it a name over here, and an input type. Text, name, name. Now this is a critical part. So I'll bind the input of this text type to the ng model. So ng model is a property of it's an attribute, or what can I say? Yeah, it's a property of Angular form module. So whenever you bind ng model into an input control, you get a two-way data binding out of that. So so in my VS Code, I have installed a lot of snippets. So what I can do is just I can do a ng hyphen model, and it will automatically generate code for me. So I have bound this property to the name property of our data entry class. If you want to type manually, you need to type first square bracket and then round bracket, and then type ng model within that. So we'll just copy this for age. Done.
Yep. So
And last, yeah, Vijay.
Just what I was saying is, if you provide me that that URL or installer that will provide this type of functionality that you are doing, so that would be great for us.
Yeah,
That predefined installer you have installed, na?
yeah. So I'll show that. So these are the things that I have installed in my VS Code. These are the extensions I have installed. You can install this one, Angular 10 snippets, and also install this Angular language service. These two are very critical. It helps you avoid lots of errors and do a lot of automation. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's put a button over here. Now on button, what we want is when we click a button, it should print a message into our console. For now, we'll use just console to print the message. We can create a separate table and show data, but right now we're just going with a form with a console display. So for that, I need to use that on-click event of this button control. However, with Angular, Angular provides a wrapper around on-click, which is called click. So simply put, it says that, okay, whatever the click event you want to show over here, what I'll do is I'll do show data. Now it automatically detects that we don't have this show data method defined into our component. So let's define that in our component. So can anybody share how I can write a string in an interpolation manner without, concatenation? What is the syntax of interpolation without doing Googling? Okay.
Curly bracket.
No curly bracket, not immediately. Anybody else?
Double curly braces.
No. So the first step is you need to type this, the two quotes in a different way. The one where we have tilde sign. So you can use that button, but just before one button. So that is your first step. Then you type name is now dollar and then bracket. So now you are getting this IntelliSense as well. And age is so this way it becomes better at readability. So in all your entire JavaScript, you should write in this way only. And this is a native JavaScript concept. This is not a TypeScript concept. So this works directly in your browser without any conversion. So it is highly recommended that you use this instead of concatenation everywhere. Okay, so that is done. Now let's run the application. I already started my application. Let me start again. So you just have to do npm start. So when you run the application, this is what you must be seeing right now. Can you all please run and see in localhost 4200? This is the screen that should come.
It's compiling.
Hello, can you show HTML page code?
So it is by default whatever it is right now. So when you started, it must be like this app root.
Check in that it's look like same as yours.
Perfect.
Hello.
Yes, Aman.
Can you show HTML code?
Yeah, this is the HTML.
The one with person data entry.
Sure.
HTML. Okay.
So I recommend that you write comments also for you to remember why we did all those things. Can anybody tell me how to write HTML comments? Comments in HTML? Everybody knows how to do in C#, // how to do it in HTML.
It's the same way, I think so. We use in CSS, less than, then exclamatory and comma. Maybe, am I
Less
correct,
than,
Chintan?
sorry?
Exclamatory sign and comma. Sorry, not comma, dash. Less than,
Okay.
exclamatory sign and dash.
Control KC directly we can use.
Yeah, that's just a shortcut, but maybe.
Less than exclamation, then double dash.
And
Yeah.
Chintan, I'm getting error. At
What is?
ng model is equal to age जहाँ पे लिखा है there can't bind.
Not unknown property of input.
Can't bind to ng model since
I
it
think
isn't a known property of it.
that
Ah.
input type.
No. The error should come. It was intended purpose. So if you are getting ng model related error, then you are at right spot. Any other error is there other than ng model?
No, actually, sir, I also same error. It is not non-property of input.
Correct. So you are on the correct path. Actually, when you use ng model, you need to import forms module in this app module. So if you see in imports, we have two modules imported. So the third one is forms module that you need to add over here.
Okay.
So what you can do is first import forms module like this, import form module from Angular forms, and then add it into this imports part.
Chintan, what is the difference between two imports, the top one and the one you are showing?
Sorry, I did not got your question.
No, what is the difference between two imports? On the top there is an import, right?
Yes.
And in the middle also there is an imports. Inside
So,
module.
yeah.
Inside module.
Yeah. So this import is a very standard import used in ECMAScript. It has nothing to do with Angular. And the second one is an import for the third-party service within Angular framework. So Angular will consume browser module, app routing module, and forms module.
Okay.
As you can see, I have imported many other things also, but only these three things are going into the Angular framework.
Okay.
So everybody running the application?
Why cannot I run from terminal? I have to do from CMD all the time.
Terminal, do you mean
Yeah, VS Code.
PowerShell?
Yes.
Yeah, PowerShell has its security constraint, so it does not allow any random script to be executed in PowerShell. So that's why there is a problem. There is a workaround to it, but I won't recommend that because it opens your system for other security attacks. So it is preferable that you use CMD. So within code itself, you can use CMD. So if you see the plus sign over here, you can do a drop down and you can select any shell that you want. So PowerShell is the default one, but you can always put a command prompt here.
For run, npm start and ng-serve.
Yeah. npm start and all those things will run in PowerShell, but ng and all those commands will not run. So recommended is to use CMD in most cases. It just makes your life easier. Okay, so Prashant's application is running in the browser. Has everybody done that? Everyone's running. Perfect. Shivam, Heli also done. Khalid is done. Kunjan done. Rashmi. Prashant is also done. Gemini is also done. Perfect. Assume everyone is done. Now the question is, how do we show the form that we created instead of the one that is default right now? So how do you do that?
This
First step,
component,
sorry.
this component we need to put somewhere in main component.
So it is already there in app module. Now first change is that you need to make it at a bootstrap component. So right now app component is the bootstrap component. So you just change it to the person data entry component. Save it and it will again automatically recompile the application. You don't have to do anything. So first step is this. Now let's check what the result was. You will get a white page because your application crashed. So when you go in the console, it says that app person data entry did not match any elements. So why is this error? Because in our index.html, we need to put the actual component URL app person data entry. So now my person data entry form is coming. Is everybody on the same page?
It's still white page. Can you repeat? App person data entry.
Chintan, I am able to see that message, but not able to see that controls there on the page.
Just check if you saved the HTML file or not.
Okay, yeah, let me check.
I'm
Yeah,
still
able to
seeing
see.
white page.
Yeah, click F12 and see what is the error coming in the console.
Can you show me what you did before that app person data entry in index HTML? Let me see that.
Okay, so we started in app module. In app module, in Bootstrap, it was app component by default. So we removed that and we replaced that with app data entry
Person
component.
data.
And in index HTML, we kept the selector that we defined over here. This one.
Okay, I'm having that screen. Thank you.
Is everybody there? Everybody is getting the same screen? Perfect. Okay, so the Angular application is running smoothly now. Now let's test whether our console print will work or not. Say I put in Chintan. I say 30. Perfect. So as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. You said name is Chintan and age is 30. So our console.log worked well. Let me know if all of you are also getting the same result. Perfect. So just to recap, what we did was we created a component using ng-generate. It created 3 files for us, CSS, HTML, and TS file. What we did was we went into the component.ts file. We defined 2 properties, one name, one age. We initialized them in the constructor. These are all your standard programming practices. You define a property, you initialize in constructor. It is nothing specific to Angular so far. Then we defined a method, show data. We created a simple console log out of it. Then we went into the HTML. We created form element and all the required element for data entry, vis-a-vis name and age. And then we added a button on which is click event. We did show data button, show data function click. Then we went into the app module. In Bootstrap, we changed app component to person data entry component. And then in index.html, we went and changed the selector over here to app person data entry. And then when we ran our application, it ran flawlessly. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Any doubt in the process?
Mm,
Okay, so if you are done with that, what I want you to do now is, let's say this is what we are doing right now. We are doing a button click. We remove that button click. And instead of form, within below that, create a P element. And I want to print this message. This is where you need to bring the name here. So I'm just putting a placeholder. And my age is. So this message should be printed over here. Now this is a two-way data binding. So you should be able to do that much easier. I have shared the PDF with you. So I want you to go through that and find out how we can do this. And once you find out, then you also teach me how to do it. Okay.
Chintan sir,
Bolo.
here in blank space I put a double curly bracket, and inside that this dot name and this dot age. So it's correct?
No, it is not.
Not?
I'm having the same output as before when we were using button click.
It will not work.
It worked.
So it is a one-way binding. Is it changing every time you change the name?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's a new use case you have found. So I think what Heli Patel has posted is correct. You need to use double curly brackets, which is called interpolation.
Yes, I did this.
So we can use this double interpolation. As you can see, our two-way data binding working perfectly. Whatever you change over there, it is reflected back in the same window at the same time. So this was two-way data binding. Any doubt so far?
Sir, when need to write this dot? Because sometime that variable not came, so here came directly name.
Do you mean interlicense?
Yes.
So it typically comes in most cases. So if I type double curly brackets, then it will show up easily. Because now, so this is because I have installed this extension, Angular Language Service.
Okay.
So that's why it is giving me all the IntelliSense possible, and it is also checking all the syntax.
Okay.
Are you all clear?
Yes.
Okay. So next we will create a bit more complex application, more programmatically complex, not from the Angular perspective. So what I want you to do is create a small person data records. For example, when I put name and age and submit, it should be added into an array. So that way I can store a lot of people's information. So whenever I click submit, it should be added into a database. In your case, database would be a simple in-memory array that you can define within component. It should be stored over there, and then we will show the array later on. So that is a part 2 of the assignment. Part 1 is just to store data. So that has nothing to do specifically with Angular. It is more programmatic concept. So even in C#, if I ask you to store everything into a list or anything, you know how to do it. So you should be able to do that without my help. Once that is done, we will do a list show within the same page. At that point in time, I will again guide you, but then I expect you to find the solution. Is it clear? Assignment?
Yes, clear.
Okay, so you can start doing that. I'm here only. Once you are done, just put done in the chat window. I may ask you to share your screen to understand how you did it, and then we can take it on from there.
તો વિજય
Yes.
વિજય આપણે શું કરવાનું છે એક સ્ટ્રિંગ એરે ખાલી એમાં પુશ કરી દેવાનું એવું ડિક્લેર કરી
Hmm.
બટન ક્લિક ઉપર
Correct.
એવું તો મેં કર્યું પણ કઈ શો કરવાનું પાછું UI માં
હમણાં ખાલી કોન્સોલમાં શો કરી દો પછી યુઆઈ વાળું that is the second part of the assignment.
તો ચિંતન console ની અંદર બી લૂપ તો લેવું પડશે ને આપણે પેલું for each કે
ના ના
ખાલી
એ તો ડાયરેક્ટ માર દે ને પછી તો થઈ જશે
એટલે જે સબમિટ ક્લિક કરો ને ત્યારે એને પ્રિન્ટ કરાવતું રહેવાનું એવરી ટાઈમ.
ઓકે ઓકે નો worries.
ચિંતન સર શેર કરું સ્ક્રીન
કરો.
હા જો કે ખોટું કઈ ખ્યાલ નહીં યુ કેન સી સ્ક્રીન
ના હજી નથી આવી.
નાવ
યસ.
હા જો આવું કર્યું છે આજે જૂનું હતું ને જ છે એમાં એ નાખ્યું પોસ્ટ ડેટા કર્યું પછી એમાં લખ્યું console ડોટ log એ આવી ગયું અહીંયા એ આવી ગયું પાછું બી મૂક્યું આ કર્યું
ડીબગર યુઝ ના કરો.
ના તો ખાલી ચેક કરવા માટે કર્યું હતું
હા એના રસ્તા હોય છે બીજા પણ ડીબગર નહીં વાપરવાનું કોઈ દિવસ.
અચ્છા console
તમારા એરેમાં ખાલી નેમ જઈ રહ્યું છે ને એજ નથી જઈ.
અચ્છા ઓકે બંને એડ કરવાના
હા
ઓહો તો એ ઉપર એ પાછું કરું સ્ટોપ કરું સ્ક્રીન
હા વાંધો.
Hello, Chintan. Hello.
Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, I have done so. You want me to do like this? Let's see.
Can you please share your screen? Okay.
Something like this.
No, you are just printing it. Are you storing it in an array?
Yes, I'm storing into an array. Let me show my code. So this is the array that I have created personal information, and it's a string array.
Okay.
And then I have initialized it, and currently I'm pushing into that array the string which we have displayed on last, and then I'll take a for loop and just print on the console.
So what I need you to push is only name and age, not an entire string. So I can reuse name and age in any way that I want later on.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, I'll
Sure.
Chintan sir,
Yes, Prashant.
can I share now?
Sure.
Where is screen? Yes. See here. Here A5 push. So A and 5. Now B 10 push. This is okay.
This is okay. It can be done in a better way. Probably a more JSON object is the right selection. Yeah, right now you're pushing two arrays into one array.
Means didn't get it.
So when you are you are familiar with C sharp, Prashant?
Yes.
So in C sharp, when you add something in list, you typically don't add arrays of the entire properties. જેમ કે કોઈ ક્લાસ બનાવ્યો પર્સન નો નેમ અને એજ વાળો
હા.
તો એના આપણે એરે બનાવીને નથી એડ કરતા ને વી એડ ક્લાસ ને એવું બધું એડ કરીએ છીએ લિસ્ટ ની અંદર.
Okay.
So that is the correct way to do it.
Okay.
Anybody else who wants to share or get a review?
ચિંતન સર,
Yes.
તો એના માટે તો પેલું મોડલ જેવું કંઈક બનાવવું પડે ને, એક એક્સ્ટ્રા ક્લાસ બનાવીને એમાં.
એ બનાવી શકાય એના વગર જ થઈ શકે.
અચ્છા, એના વગર મેં ઓકે કઈ.
Prashant.
Yes.
No Gujarati, please. Others are there.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I thought, like maybe my system got hanged or something.
No, everyone is here.
Okay. So yeah, I'm done with that.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Chintan, I am also done something. I'll share you after this.
Sure.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'll show you the output. So let's say Tom and 30 click me. So right now,
Only your VS Code is visible.
okay, 1 second. I'll share once again. Once it is visible, please let me know.
Yeah, it is.
Is it visible?
Yes.
So see, so as in how I'm adding, so my array size is increasing and I'm storing a model into my array. So basically I have created that array of model where,
Correct.
yeah, and this is my code.
This
So
is perfect.
yeah, this I have created a model class, and in my this one, sorry, that component, that TS file, I'm creating that object of that particular person class, and then initializing the property, and then I'm pushing that, and this is console.dir. That is like I'm displaying the array.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is excellent, perfectly executed. Anybody else who wants to share?
Currently, I'm getting some errors. I'll fix that and share it.
Prashant, if you want to share.
Yes, Chintan, let me share the screen. Okay, so this is my form. So as I enter anything, it will be there. Okay, so this is the new array. So whatever I enter in the this form, so my array is increasing, and the code is like this. So I have declared one array of any. It is initially blank. Then two variables. These are the model, person name and age.
Okay.
And on save, I have pushed one object, basic JSON object with name, person name and age on the save click. Okay. And this is my HTML. Here I have defined the two inputs with ng model, and assigned person name and age is as a model. And on submit, I call the save function. So this is the save method.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wants like to show their code?
So, Chintan, I have also done the same. Let me share. So, this is my code. So, I have declared the same variable with the data type any. Then I have initialized it, and I am now pushing that as a name, which is the current this dot name, and age, which is that. So you can see that. That's the way we need to create or
No, this is proper. Anybody done differently than this, all two techniques that we say? One is model based and one is on any based. So anybody has done any other way around? These two are perfect. So these are the two perfect ways to do it.
I have done based on any array only, and it's working fine.
Yes, model and any array. These are the two ways of doing it perfectly. So having model is the best way because TypeScript discourages the use of any keyword. Okay, I'll share my screen now. So I'll show what I did. So as you can see, so I'm able to add them. I've used the both approaches just for demo purpose. So this is my class. So I have defined a person class also. And I have done through any array also. So the first is this person array. So that is strongly typed one. The second one is the anyone. Both works exactly same. So you do push. In first case, you create new person every time. And in second case, you just have a unnamed array. So that way you can add things. So that is perfectly executed by all of you. Next component is to list them out. So listing is very simple code. I used UL and then li. So you need to keep in mind that the element that you want to repeat, on that you have to use ng for. You cannot use ng for on UL because we want li to be repeated. So that is why I have used ng for on li. So ng for syntax is very simple, star and then ng for. Now there are two type of directives that you will see. One with star and one without star. There is a specific reason for it. When you see a star directive, it means it modifies the DOM. So for example, ng4 will add or remove elements from the DOM. So that's why it is called, it is shown with the star. Whereas ng model, they don't modify DOM, they are just for value purpose or events. It does not do anything on DOM as such. So that's the difference that you have to keep in mind. So whenever you are defining even your own directives, you have to keep in mind that if it is modifying the structure of element, then you have to give star attribute on top, in front of it. This is a recommended practice, not a mandatory thing. So ng4 has a very simple syntax. This is a for each kind of a loop. So let I of persons. So persons is an array that I have defined. And then I just print I.name and I.age after that. The result you have already seen. Can you all please implement this ng4 in your own application as well? So we conclude on that.
Sir, can you go once in TS? So how you post array any? Yes. Person array dot push.
Ethan, can you go to HTML page? Yeah. Okay. NG. Yeah, Chintan, it's working.
Perfect. Is everybody done with NG4?
But I have used array. So after that, I will do with the class.
That's okay. So this works on both of the type, any based also and non-any based. So if I use persons array, that is the name of the second array that I used. It will still work.
You have created that model, so that you have created through that command line only, right? In the command line, we need to create.
No. Command line does not have anything for model right now.
Okay, so that we need to create on the new file something.
Correct. It's a simple class.
Okay. Got it.
Are you all done? So now we will go to a last concept of the day. So we have mostly covered everything related to components, how to build a basic component, how to do data entry and everything. Only one small concept remains, is to share data between parent and child component. So let's say this is the grid of name and age. I may want to create a, so right now I've just used text. I may want to replace it with a custom element, just like a normal data grid that we are used to. So what I can do is I can create a separate element. So that I already did. You can see in there. I did a created person data display. So that essentially says that it will just display the data that is passed to it. So this is the HTML I have. Basically exact same HTML that I'm putting in over there, but now I'm doing it through a separate element. Now, most important part over here is this parts. So first we need to import person object. Then we need to declare a property called person, and then put this decorator, input decorator on top of it. What it does is it exposes person now to the parent control. So only doing that will solve our problem from child side. So in child side, we just need to do these two things. You define the markup, and in component, you define a property with input decorator. And then in the HTML over here, you can put the element like this. And here, what I'll do is I'll bind person, the property that we defined within the child component, with I. So that way now I'm passing I to the child component, and then child component can use it in any way that it wants. So this way you can customize a lot of things. Let's see how it works. You see, the first one is the one where we are doing through a custom element. Let me just customize it so everybody knows it's from custom. As you can see, our child element is working over here. So it's a very easy technique. Another technique related is returning data from child to parent. So that we will take tomorrow. For today, we can conclude once you have implemented this input element. So create this person data display component, create an input property of person, and display that in the HTML. Once that is done, we can conclude for the day. You can let me know once you are done with this.
Sir, input property where we need to take in data display. Okay.
Can you show me that person data component? Person entry, yeah, person data entry component HTML.
Ya, pernah mau betkau.
Chetan, can you move to that person data display TS file? I think so I have missed something. So on the top also we need to import, or it's not required? Okay. No. Yeah, that person. Is it compulsory, right? Line number 3?
Line number, yes, person, if you are using the model approach, then you need to import person class.
Okay.
Is everybody done?
Can you show me a display HTML?
others also there. I'm not getting any feedback from others except 2-3 people only.
Chintan, if we used array, then how we can display that? Because over here you have imported person, right? Person model. So
Yes. So here I have done ng4, where I am taking one by one person and then passing it to this control.
okay.
If everybody is there, just do a thumbs up.
thumbs up करता हूँ, बुरा बोलता है अगर
Perfect. I think others have left the meeting. Then. Aman, Shivam, Rashmi, Kunjan, Manasvi. Are you all there?
Yes, I'm working on it.
If you are finding any issues, please do tell me. Is Gunjan there? Because I think I'm not sure if he is able to listen.
Yes, Chintan, I am here.
Okay. So I think we are done with for today's session. We have covered a lot about basics of components, how you can create components, registering component, displaying it, then doing a two-way data binding, filling the forms, and then storing the data, and then displaying using ng4. And then later on, at last, we saw how we can do that through a child component. So this is how much we have covered so far in this session. These are all available in the PDF that I have shared. You can always go through it. Only one last concept that we will see tomorrow is output. And other than that, I'll also give you brief how you can select what kind of component that you want to create. So these are the three types of components that are briefly defined. One is page that is routed component. Then there are pure component which are just for presentation purpose only. They don't do anything. They don't have any logic as such. And then there are reusable UI component. So these are the three types of components that I'll explain tomorrow. They have their own distinct differences. And more than 95% Angular developers don't know the difference between them. So everybody creates just a regular component. But if you divide that into 3 parts, it can significantly improve the performance of your Angular application. So that we will see tomorrow, and the output also. Another critical concept that I will be teaching tomorrow will be lifecycle events, component lifecycle events. They are very important to control how data flows. So tomorrow will be very critical day. If anybody has not come so far, you can just ask them that to come tomorrow, because tomorrow will be a most critical session.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm done. We'll discuss everything tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chintan. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.